Good afternoon. Good afternoon, all Brooklyn Kickball players. Yesterday, we had a tremendous tournament, and it was called our 10th annual national tournament, Kill Philly. But unfortunately, I'll explain that to you in a few minutes. We thought we can kill Philly this year, but unfortunately that hasn't happened, and I'll explain why right now. Game 1 in the main field. The weapons of mass destruction. And we have a good one, ladies and gentlemen, to tell you about, because the weapons of mass destruction have beaten the leftovers by the final score of 6-2, and it wasn't even close to that one, folks. In the Red Monster, we got a very close game to tell you about, and this is a good one because the Hater Party, in a very, very close game, who has beaten Kill Philly by the final score of 4-3 in a very, very close game this year. And I gotta tell you, it wasn't bad. On to the Yacht House. Well, you know they say things go bad. It has, folks, because the Love Wins was beating our team, the Good Vibes, by a score of 6-2. We had tried to come back in the end, but it didn't happen. That's the way it goes sometimes in these games. On to the main field. Whoa, folks. Listen to this. The Dirty South Crunk All-Stars, who has beaten Toronto by an amazing game of 11-3. And I gotta tell you, this Atlanta team has been around a very, very long time, and they have won championships in the past. But this game 2 here was one of the most amazing games you have ever seen. On to the Red Monster. We have another very close game to tell you about, and it's a good one because the Boohoo team, who has lost to the Earthquake, and it was a very close game to tell you about. The final score for that game, Earthquake wins 3-2 in a very close game. On to the Outhouse. Wow. I tell you, ladies and gentlemen, if this Pony Boys ain't something, I don't know what is. They have beaten the Hoboken by a big score, not big, but big enough, by a big score of 5-1. And I gotta tell you, this team is something else. Game 3, on to the main field, and after losing the first game in the outhouse, we had came back and we had beat it, Toronto, by an excellent win for us, for the final score of 9-3. What an excellent game our team, the Good Vibes, had done. On to the Red Monster, and we have a tie. The Hater Party and the Typhoon are tied at 1. So we'll find out what's going on after this. On to the Yacht. Wow. The weapons of mass destruction. I can tell you something. They are something else. Boy. They have beat it. The hashtag Thanks Obama with the final score of 4-0. I gotta tell you, this team is something else. Something else. Game number 5. Whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, get this. And we have an amazing crush shout out to tell you about. And it's a big one. Because the Pony Boys who had done it again to beat the Boo-Hoo team by the score of an amazing shutout of 10-0 in a crush game. This is really bad to talk about, but that's the way it goes. On to the Red Monster. And we have another game to discuss because the Typhoon, who has beat it, killed Philly by the final score of 1-0. You never know what goes on, ladies and gentlemen. You never know what goes on. On to the outhouse. Whoa, we have an amazing shutout to tell you about. Another one. Because the leftovers were lost to #Thanks Obama by an amazing shutout of 10-0. What a game to talk about. What a game to talk about. Game number 6. An elimination game in the Biggie division. And we had got word that the Hater Party, who has won by the score of 6-3 in the 6th inning. Not bad for them, folks. Not bad for them. In the Red Monster. You know what they say? Good things all come to an end. And it happened to us again. This time it's a big shutout because the 30 South Crunk All-Stars, by beating our team, the Good Vibes, by a crush score of 9-0. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. Not good at all. On to the elimination game. And get this, ladies and gentlemen. Philly, who has won the elimination game by the final score of 3-2 in elimination game. They have took it in the elimination round. Way to go, Philly. Game number 7. On to the main field. And the Pony Boys have done it again, and listen to this. They have beaten the Earthquake by the Pony Boys by the final score of 4-2 in elimination game as well. Believe it, folks. Believe it. Now, things that change and have flipped the script. There are no ties in the semifinals or the finals. We've gone all 5 innings. If the visitors team would have scored first, the home team would have scored 2 after 5 innings, and we would have won extra innings. But it didn't happen, and here's why. In the semifinals, on to the main field first. The Pony Boys versus the Hater Party. And it came to a conclusion that the Pony Boys not only had won, but they had went on to the finals. In the outhouse, Philly took on Atlanta. And it came out to this. Atlanta was lost to the Philly. So Philly wins, and they'll be going to the finals once again. As you know, Philly has won the All-Star Tournament last year. I gotta tell you, folks, that's some game. That's some game they play with Atlanta. Last but not least, we going to the big one for the finals for the championship. Pony Boys took on Philly. And it was very close to the side because we didn't know what was going to go on. But in the end, we found out that Philly, who had beaten the Pony Boys by the final score of 4-3 And not only that, Philly, who has won back-to-back championships, and it was big, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Philly for the second time, who has won it. And now they are the back-to-back All-Star champions. And that is your recap games from yesterday's tournament. This afternoon at 5 o'clock today, Brooklyn Kickball will go on to its regular schedule. Remember, as I always say, once you play the first game, we continue on from there. Remember, we do not play by the hour. We continue going until that game ends. Now remember, today will be the messiest day of the year. That's what we call it. The messiest day of the year. You never know what's going to go on next, ladies and gentlemen. For right now, so long, and we'll see you at Brooklyn Kickball at 5 o'clock today. For now, so long, and congratulations once again to Philly for winning back-to-back champions. So long.